Hello and welcome to Sunflower Philosophy Tarot. My name is Juliana, and today I have a reading for you that is about whatever you need to hear right now. So my intention was just for each pile to go in and just say whatever came up and have that be for the best for whatever you're going through right now or whatever you need to hear. It was very interesting. It was very fun. It was kind of nice to just do it that way. So hopefully you enjoy and get something out of this. So I have 3 piles today, and each pile has 2 quote cards with it. So the pile 1 is these 2 cards here. Pile 2 is these 2. And pile 3 is these 2 cards. And as always, use your intuition to choose, and you can always choose more than one. You can list all of them. If you pick one and it's not resonating, try another one. Whatever you want to do, it's always up to you. And as well, before you go, if you're interested, I do have a little mini bonus reading that I wanted to do just collectively because when I was pulling these cards and the bird cards, which I have underneath here, I just noticed the card that popped up on the bottom of the deck. I wanted to take that as like a collective sort of energy. So if you want to stick around for that, I'm going to get into that now. Otherwise, just go ahead and feel free to jump to your pile. I've got the timestamps in the description and in the pinned comment. So yeah. So if you're still around, let's look at just a quick little reading. I've got a bird card here, and I've got quote cards here. So I'm going to flip over the bird card. We have Cardinal, accept your life's importance. I'll just put it on top of this, I guess. And then we have these 2 quote cards, just like a sunrise, sunset, and a card that says suffer for fun in fun colors. So we'll get into the quotes on the back in a moment. Actually, you know what? Let's get into them now. Let's just read it all together. So we have on the back of this card, man suffers only because he takes seriously what the gods made for fun. And this is from Alan Watts. And then we have on the back of this card, a morning can start off like any other, but by nightfall, things have occurred that could change a course forever. And this is from Anne with an E, the TV show based on Anne of Green Gables. So before I read, there's like a booklet that comes with the bird cards that has a lot of great information in there. I'm going to read that in a moment, but before I even get into that, I want to say that the collective message I'm getting here is just about obviously the importance of so it's like accepting your life's importance, right? Accepting your like singularity within the context of like existence, right? The phrase if everyone's special, nobody's special is coming to mind because I actually think that's incorrect. I think it's kind of the opposite. Like everybody's special. Like there's no like singular person out there with your exact experience or like internal life or thoughts. Like at the same time as we're all perhaps the same, we're like different expressions of the same thing, right? And so we're all simultaneously the same, and we're all simultaneously completely individual and separate, and like not separate, we're all connected, but we're like completely individual and different and unique, right? And it always irked me when people would say that if everyone's special, then no one's special, because it just never resonated, right? And so there's something here about acknowledging your specialness and not putting that down or discounting that. At the same time as not taking yourself too seriously. And in that, it's like a balance, right? You gotta have that balance, and you'll come around to find that it's like those are the same thing. Accepting your singularity and significance and importance, the importance of your existence within the greater whole, also brings you around to loosening up, lightening up, and being able to enjoy your life more and the adventure of it. Because I guess the idea is if you connect with the greater significance of your life and in your existence, you'll simultaneously take more seriously the power that you have in creating that life and in expressing who you are and in being yourself, and you'll feel freer to be yourself and to do what you want because you trust that you have the desires that you have the personality that you have the traits that you have for a reason, right? You're meant to be who you are. You're meant to be this person, and you're not meant to be like the people around you, because, you know, a lot of times we all have these moments of wanting everyone to be like us or wanting to be like everyone else for acceptance and belonging. But like, once you accept that you are important in your uniqueness, like you're already important, then you free yourself up to accept everyone else where they're at and accept yourself where you're at and not feel the need to do anything to belong because you just know that you already do, right? You already feel that. And with that, then you can start opening up to all manner of different things that could possibly occur in your life. All possibilities that maybe you shut down because you thought that it was silly to want that, or that it wasn't what someone else wanted, so how could you want that, right? You know, like you open up to all the possibilities that you desire for your life and accept that miracles can happen because they're not really miracles. They're things that are like, all possibilities are possible. You are a possibility, right? Like, your existence is proof of that. Like, so yeah. And I'm going to read from the Bird book now for Cardinal as well to see what else this has to say to us. So, Cardinal, accept your life's importance. I'm going to repeat that because I think that's important. Most people easily recognize these bright red birds with their clear song. They stand out in whatever environment they're found. A cardinal's appearance now is an acknowledgement of you and your work. You have touched the lives of others, often in ways you did not realize, and you are beginning to stand out. So accept the importance and praise that is coming to you. Often in life, we affect and influence others without realizing it. True healers and teachers touch others not just through the medium in which they work, but through the normal life activities. Your ability to touch others is recognized and acknowledged. People from your past and present are stepping forward to share your positive impact on their lives. It is the little things you do, the small courtesies, the helpful hand, the conversational guidance, the extending of friendship, and the genuineness of your work that people now recognize and notice. Be proud of what you do and how you have done it. You are a living example now, and people will notice the little things and efforts you apply. Your life is a life of noble importance. You encourage, touch, heal, and bless others through your normal interactions and through your work. Accept yourself as a source of light and do not be afraid to conduct yourself accordingly. Yeah. So also, when you accept your importance, right, you accept that, like, also with a morning can start off like any other, but by nightfall things have occurred that could change a course forever. It's like, just by being you and existing and doing things and like offering the smile to the stranger, like helping someone with something, whatever you do with like the best of intention, just out of the goodness of your heart and out of like the genuineness of who you are, you don't even know how you've changed lives and affected people and impacted people, you know? But you can trust that just by being you, you have that impact. And so you don't need to strive for anything. You don't need to put pressure on yourself to do anything spectacular. And you fully are capable of spectacular things in the conventional sense of whatever you think is conventionally spectacular. Like, you fully are. And accepting that you are inherently spectacular in your existence is just another piece of the puzzle, right? So, like, you don't have to strive. You don't have to do anything special. You already are special. You already are that. Don't take yourself too seriously in that you don't have to punish yourself or push yourself or strive or whatever. Feel like you're not enough. And you don't have to become worthy of anything. Like, you already are, right? Inherently. So you're free to have fun and enjoy your life. And also trust that you're doing great work just like by being you. And through freeing yourself up from that, if there are things that you want to do that come into your life that are opportunities that spark you, that you feel passionate about, that you might have in the past been afraid to even think about attempting because you didn't feel worthy, you didn't feel like you were special or important, you'll know that that's inherently an aspect of you, and you don't have to think twice about it. You can just go for it, right? So you can open up to the full possibilities of whatever you want to be in this life, and that can look like anything to you, you know? That's not measured by what other people think you should be doing. It's only measured by what you feel truly, purely drawn towards, you know? Doesn't matter if someone else wants that for you or not. Like, it's irrelevant. It's all about you accepting yourself for exactly the magnificence that you are and moving through life with that knowledge just already in you, you know? You don't need to feel like you are less than or unworthy or any heavy, difficult emotion. You don't need that to push you to achieve or whatever, because you don't need to do any of that, but also because there's another way, and the other way is just opening up to your magnificence already and then moving with that throughout life, and then just like doing all the things that you've ever wanted to do because you just feel worthy of them and like you're free to do them and you're excited about it and you love life, right? Like living life through the lens of like joy and like freedom and like confidence, as opposed to living life through the lens of like pushing and striving and being driven by fear and survival and things like that. And no matter who you are and where you're at currently in your life, I do believe that that is, well, hopefully, you know, you have glimpses of that already or are living like that already. But even if you're not, that's very possible for you, you know, at whatever situation you're in. It's very possible for you to tap into this, to live this. You just gotta take it one step at a time and open up to the possibility and the concept of all that you are. So I hope you enjoyed that little bonus reading. But yeah, now you can feel free to go into your other readings if you want to. And yeah, you're super important and you're super special, and I love you, and have a great day. Hi, Group 1. If you chose these cards here, then you're in the right place. So today's reading, I honestly had some trouble figuring out what I was going to do for it because I had a few different ideas, and ultimately I ended on the option of just kind of going with the flow and seeing what comes up. So we're gonna get started and see what comes through, and my intention is that it will be something that you need to hear right now, something that will be useful, helpful, or just, I don't know, something you need to hear. We're gonna just let it flow and see what comes through, okay? So it's just gonna be chill vibes. I hope. I don't know. So let's get started with these cards here, and we'll just go from there. So to start, I pulled some quote cards. You can see that this one here says wonderful on it, and this one has like this, I don't know what this is, abstract circles connected to each other. So your quotes say, why believe in something awful when you can believe in something wonderful? And this is from Fleabag, the show. And this one says, I don't think I knew I was lonely until I met you. And it's from People We Meet on Vacation, which is a book by Emily Henry. And then we also have some bird cards here, which I'll flip them over, but I'm going to read from the book for them. But I'm not going to necessarily read that yet. I might wait until I get some cards. But we have vulture here, and we have owl. So we actually got 2 bird cards for you, and I did take them. So under owl, it says, spirits are strong around you. And under vulture, it says life, death, and rebirth. So let's see. I'm going to put owl over here with this quote, and I'm going to put vulture over here with this quote. So we've got 2 bird cards for you. I think everyone got 2 quotes. I think you're the only one that got two bird cards. I'm like looking back over at my other piles to see. Not that it matters, you know, whatever comes through, like, it doesn't matter how many cards we get, right? So, okay. So, ooh. Okay. So I'm already getting some things, but they're not quite taking form yet. I don't know if you have that experience often of feeling like you there's a picture coming together, like the puzzle pieces are coming together, but the picture hasn't completed itself quite enough for you to vocalize it yet, to communicate it yet. But there's something greater here, right? There's a sense of something greater, but you don't quite have the words or have the full experience of like the full picture, if that makes sense, to express it. And maybe that is actually something that is relatable to you in some way right now. We do have life, death, and rebirth here. And why believe in something awful when you can believe in something wonderful? Ooh, okay. So maybe what's going on with you right now is a feeling that there is a big change on the horizon, and you may or may not know exactly what it entails, but not exactly knowing what it means. Like, you can, even if you know what it's around, you might be almost overwhelmed. Like, even if you don't know what's coming, sometimes you have this like sense that something's coming, right? There's a change coming. And then sometimes you know that there's something coming up that could change things, or that things could change in some way, or you sense that there's a big change coming. You know that something that's about to happen will change things. And you don't necessarily know how it's going to go, but you know it's going to be big, and it can feel a little bit overwhelming. And so that's the feeling that I'm having, actually. And so I feel like that makes sense for what I'm seeing here already. With life, death, and rebirth, that's that sense that there's a change on the horizon. And again, it could be something that you already know about that maybe you're making steps towards. Like, it could be an active change that you're making, or it could just be a sense that change is happening, or it could be both. You might not even always be aware of exactly how the steps that you're taking are leading to this change, but you are taking them. You know what I'm talking about? And I feel like there's a sense here of like, it can be an overwhelming sensation, but it doesn't have to be bad, right? Because we have the why believe in something awful when you can believe in something wonderful. And it's the idea of choosing how you accept this change into your life, and how your beliefs shape your experience, and the idea that you can choose to believe that there's something wonderful coming up with this change. That not only is the change itself wonderful, but that there's something wonderful on the other side of it. And that's not to say like there can't be any anxiety or trepidation or anything around it, but it's saying that you're not listening to your fears or your anxiety around it, or the worst case, like, catastrophizing. Like, there might be some catastrophizing happening around this change, right? The idea that something could go wrong or awful or horrible. And it's like, you get to make the choice whether because the change is happening no matter what. Things are changing no matter what, right? And it's kind of like whatever's meant to be will be. And so if you can accept that, and accept that you don't have to know exactly how it will go down or what will happen or control any of that. Right now, you can make the choice to settle into that knowledge that things are changing and that it will be wonderful. It doesn't have to happen in any exact way that you imagine it in order for it to be wonderful. Just trust that it's wonderful. Like in Fleabag, this is the hot priest. He doesn't have a name other than like the priest in the show. And he's saying this, and this is about life, death, and rebirth. And it's like the idea of like believing in like, do you believe in an afterlife? And if you believe in an afterlife, what kind of afterlife? If you believe in God, what kind of a God do you believe in? If you believe in something spiritual, if you believe in anything, whether you consider it spiritual or not, or religious or not, or whatever, it's like, this pertains to anything really. It's like, why believe in something awful when you can believe in something wonderful? And it's the idea that your belief does in fact shape your reality, because it, like, whether you think of it in a metaphysical way or like in a physical way, it's like your perspective is really important, because your perspective is what highlights and magnifies different aspects of different situations. And you can enter into the same situation and have a completely different experience because you have a completely different perspective, right? So yeah. So I do feel like there's something about anticipation of a change of some kind, and perhaps the need to focus on the wonderful, like if you're going to focus at all on the change itself and the future, focusing on and believing in the wonderful aspects of it. And with I don't think I knew I was lonely until I met you, and like spirits are strong around you, there could be a change that involves other people, and it could involve like your connections with other people, new relationships entering your life, meeting someone new, even if you haven't met them yet, like a sense that you are about to, whatever. Specifics are always going to be what they are, which is specific, right? So you will know, like, if the semantics of this resonate or not. It's not a big deal. Like, it's the energy, right? It's the vibe. So you'll know what this is. But it's like the idea of like, I like in people we meet on vacation, like, I don't think I knew I was lonely until I met you is one of the characters saying this to the other. It's a romance novel, and it's like people who have been friends for a long time, and it's this revelation like way later on in their friendship that this person is saying to the other person that they didn't realize something about themselves, something significant about themselves until they met this person, that they didn't realize they were missing some kind of connection in their life until they met this person, you know what I mean? That they didn't realize that there was some, like, this connection highlighted something about their life that was important to them, and that in this, they felt less lonely, right? They felt like something important happened for them because of this coming into their life. And it's like, not to say that like other people complete us, but it's that in relationships of all kinds, we can find, like, just like in any aspect of life, you can find miracles there. You can find connection where you least expect it, right? And yeah, there's more there, but it's like, it's not quite fully formed yet. You know what I'm saying? But spirits are strong around you. It's like whoever this person is, or the situation, or like if there's people around you who are supporting you, it's like there's support around you. There's support around you. And again, we're gonna read the booklet on that, but I'm gonna get into the tarot cards, and we'll read the booklet at the end, just to get more information. Because again, this is just whatever wants to come through. So let's see what else wants to come through for you, group 1. And as I'm shuffling, as always, you use your own discernment. You will know what is for you and what is not for you. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you trust yourself. And you recognize, that was a messy shuffle. And you recognize that you're powerful, you're important. Your opinion is important, but not like your intuition. Like, anyway, I've been having a bit of a week. And so I'm just like, okay, I'm just in a bit of I've been in a strange but you know what? Strange but wonderful place, let's call it, all week. So don't mind me. All right, let's get a few more. Oh, that one's on the floor. Lovely. Go on the floor. Okay. I always think I have more room than I do. Okay. What's next? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna put this over here. We might look at the bottom of the deck, but I'm gonna start here. Okay, so we have the 5 of Strength, which is the 5 of Wands. We have the Page of Strength, which is the Page of Wands, and we have the 5 of Wisdom, which is the 5 of Cups. Okay. So actually, I'm gonna read from the little booklet on these cards too, because they have just such, I find that like, they have such like wonderful, simple little statements that really are so clarifying and useful. So 5 of Strength, which is the 5 of Wands, in this booklet says, being focused totally on being in the moment to work together effectively, letting go of competition. Okay, yeah. So, So being completely in the moment, first of all, really stuck out to me because we're talking about, for a lot of you, potentially some kind of anticipation of a change or a change that is happening. And maybe this change does involve other people as well. And so it's like, if there's any tension that you feel within you or with other people, any resistance or sense of like competition or sense of like, I'm getting like, I have to, like of like, oh, see, is maybe there are things that you're struggling to like maybe put into words right now. Maybe it is around this change as well. Like, oh, maybe there's something involving the change where it's going to involve like some kind of communication, and you're having trouble deciding like how you want to communicate something, and you want to make sure that you're saying like you say it in the right way, but it also involves other people, and so you're like, okay, well, like, should I bring this up first or should I let the other person bring this up first? You know what I'm saying? And it's saying that if that's the case for you, release the idea of competition here in terms of like, sometimes there can be this subtle feeling of like, oh, if I bring it up first, then I lose. Or if the other person brings it up first, then I lose or win or whatever. Like a sense of like a win-lose situation where there isn't one, right? And with the Five of Wands, like it can be about competition, but then you can also look at it as playful, right? So if there's been like any heavy feeling of like you're competing with someone else or something, or on like a subtler level, there's a tension, there's a little bit of you're dancing around the subject or something with someone, bring playfulness to it, right? Bring a lighter energy of playfulness to it. It can be, it could be tense or it can be fun, right? Believe in something that's like a little less wonderful or believe in something that's more wonderful, right? So you decide what kind of energy you bring to it. And I think there's a sense of playfulness that's important here. And then with the Page of Strength, which is also the Page of Wands, I mean, that's also a very playful energy. And in the booklet here, it says, it takes energy to do something awesome. Go for it. Engage your free spirit and follow your passion. So yeah, rather than getting too caught up in the idea of who says it first, who does it first, what move should I make? Am I going to make the wrong move? Are they going to make the wrong move? If it's like other people, a team, one other person, whatever you're working with. It could be like a relationship for some of you. It's about that playfulness. It's about passion. It's about embracing that. It's about moving from your heart, not thinking about what the other person is thinking or doing. Actually, like only thinking about your intention and your energy and getting your energy into a playful place and coming from like your heart and coming from like the Page of Strength is very like in the moment, right? It's very caught up in like, look, this guy's like a chef, and they're really passionate about their food and they're enjoying making it and adding some spice to it. So like, add some spice and playfulness to, your situation and your mood. Bring that energy, and that will lighten up maybe any tension or any sense of anticipation or anxiety over this change, right? And maybe in relationship to this person or people. And with the Five of Wisdom, which is the Five of Cups, that's all about perspective. It's all about, like in the original, like Rider-Waite Smith, there's a person looking down at spilled cups, and then there's two full cups right behind them that haven't spilled, and they don't see them because they're just not quite looking at it. So it's like, optimism or pessimism, glass half full, glass half empty, right? What I was saying before about, believe in something awful or believe in something wonderful. So the Five of Wisdom says, keeping a bright outlook and not letting past pain affect your interpretation of the present moment. Oh, yeah. And look, I know it can feel so hard, so difficult. And especially if there's a change, like if there's a change happening where you're like entering into a new relationship or a new workspace, any new environment, there can be this feeling of like if you've had painful experiences in past relationships, past workplaces, past friendships, whatever, this feeling of, oh no, is this going to be the same, right? Is this place, is this person, whatever, going to treat me as the same as in the past, or as in what I've come to expect, because it's not always even about the other person. It's like all about your energy, right? And what you're bringing to the situation. Because no matter if someone treats you like well or poorly, if you're in the right vibration, you're not going to accept that, and you're not going to let it phase you, right? As much as if you're in a positive vibe, and you're having the most positive outlook. And it's not to say like sometimes you have to. This has been actually coming up for me a lot lately too. So I'm going to say this for all the people who feel like I'm going to like reference the bottom of the deck now, who feel like this 8 of Swords, 8 of Intelligence guy here, this was on the bottom of the deck in reverse. And so like the 8 of Swords is all about it's all about self-imposed limitations, right? Limiting beliefs that you have. When you have these limiting beliefs, it's not that they are, you don't have to treat them like they've been completely false. It's just that oftentimes they come from a reality you were living in that is no longer suitable for you. You're ready to move beyond that. You're ready to move from something maybe less wonderful to something more wonderful, right? In this case, unless you want to do the opposite. I mean, like if you want to move from wonderful to awful, like, and that's your goal, go for it. But I'm assuming most of us want to move from awful to wonderful, right? So it's like the 8 of Swords can be like, you think that you're trapped, but you're actually not, right? Like you're trapped by your mind, by your perspective. But once you move beyond that, you're golden, you're free. And I'll read the little saying from this booklet for that too. Untangling ourselves from guilty thoughts or self-punishment. So yeah, so maybe some of it, it's like, it could be about your own guilt as well. And self-punishment for decisions you've made in the past. Believing the worst of yourself when you could believe the best of yourself, right? Believing the worst of other people when you could believe the best of other people. Believing the worst of a circumstance when you could believe the best of the circumstance. Yeah, so there's so much about perspective here, right? Like, perspective is really everything. And I feel like you guys are just needing to hear that there's nothing here that's inherently bad that's going to happen, right? But you might have some thoughts and fears that are coming up that are telling you that it is going to be bad at times. You might not feel that way constantly, but sometimes when the really deep fears come up, I like to actually treat that as an opportunity. So the moments when you fall into a depressive episode or like have an really anxious day and there's a lot of thoughts and rumination going on, if you're feeling thoughts and things coming up that are really painful from the past, and sometimes even to the point where it's like you can't ignore it. I like to take that, even though in the moment it can feel really painful and impossible to enjoy. I take that as an opportunity of, okay, these things are coming up so forcefully because they're ready to go, right? It's ready for me to see these things for what they are, as limiting beliefs that I no longer need. And they're coming up to be seen and then to be released. It's like getting the last of that poison out of your body. It's like, I'm thinking of in like The Legend of Korra, if you've ever seen that, there's a bit in the beginning of the 3rd season, I think, where like there's been a time skip and like the main character went through something really difficult and traumatic, and then like a few years later we revisit her and she's like sort of reached the end of a healing journey, and she's just got like one last little bit of poison to like get out of her body, which like sort of actually does physically happen. I don't remember exactly how it goes down. She goes to like someone else to like have that just like removed from her to free her from that cycle, and she's transformed from her past experience. She's kept the wisdom, but she's left the pain behind. And it took a few years, but she's at that point. And I feel like maybe for you, like this change that's happening, it's like just requiring you to let go of like the last of that poison from whatever past experiences you've had and step into the wonderful future, right? Which again could involve other people, could involve someone else. And it's like maybe the other person or other people are also experiencing this, or your relationship is really just it's like the wonderful parts are assured as long as you allow yourself to access them, and you're right there. Like this Eight of Swords was reversed, and I feel like I could take that multiple ways, but how I'm taking it is like it's being released. Like you're releasing yourself from it now. You know, it's inevitable, it's happening, and you might just need a little bit of a reminder and encouragement that perspective is everything, that your worst fears and worst thoughts and anxieties are not true. Like they're lying to you. You know, the rumination is lying to you. The intuition is what is true, and that you really only access and hear underneath all of that. And once you release it, it's so much easier to listen to that, to access that. You'll feel relaxed, you'll feel at ease with yourself, and you'll make your choices in the moment based on what is truly best for you. And you don't have to cling to old ideas of how to move through the world that just feel constricting and just are no longer letting you be who you really want to be and who you truly are. And if that's you, and if you're fully resonating with this, which I'm assuming if you're still here, you are, then I am with you 100% on that journey. I am there. It's happening for me too. I get it. And yeah, spirits are around you. With Owl, I'm thinking like you've got support, right? Whatever your support is coming from, whatever kind of spirits or people or whatever, like, you know, you're not alone. You can use that to call on strength and you can do this. And you are doing it already. And so now I'm going to read from this bird book to get more information about vulture and owl that can help you, or at least just give you some comfort or guidance. So let's read vulture first, if I can find it in this book. I hope you don't mind my like really casual attitude today. We're just chilling. We're just going with it. It's been a week, guys. Look, if this has been you, you know, maybe for some of you it's not like that heavy of an experience, but for those of you who feel like you've been like through it, even just like mentally and emotionally, just getting rid of like some junk that you need to get rid of, I feel it. I'm with you. I get it. Okay, so vulture. So vulture says, the vulture is a very misunderstood animal. It is one of the garbage collectors of the environment, cleaning up the dead, helping to eliminate problems with disease and such. It is also one of the more powerful and gentle animals of rebirth and healing. Vulture is a symbol of healing and purification. Okay. Reflecting that harmony is already in the process of being restored in some area of your life. Okay. No matter how difficult your life conditions are right now, rebirth is imminent, and as a result, you will soon see life from an entirely new perspective. Oh, see this, I read this last because then it just like confirms all the things that I already said, and I love it. Just need that validation, you know? And anything that has been lost or stolen or broken in the past year will soon be replaced by something more beneficial. So yeah, anything that has been lost or anything that you're releasing that feels like a loss, it's because it's being replaced in a better way with something better. You know what I mean? The vulture is always a signal of life, death, and rebirth, helping us to see and trust in that process within your life. Yeah, trust the process. Regardless of how events and situations may currently appear, vulture reminds you that it will ultimately work out for your own health and benefit. You will soon see more clearly how events are likely to unfold. Change has begun and is likely to occur more quickly from this point on. Be prepared. Yeah, so there's some kind of rapid change you guys are going through, and it is wonderful, and it's just like a matter of releasing yourself from the old fears that keep you from seeing it as wonderful. And like honestly, like sometimes they come back so strong because they want you to see how obviously unfit they are for you right now. Like, they're not correct for your situation. But still, don't push them down. Look at them in the eye. There might be some things you have to move through to get to the other side, but it's like telling you you're ready. You can do that. You can look something in the eye. If there's a conversation you need to have with someone or yourself, you're ready for it. Even if it's a difficult conversation, what was once difficult for you in the past is now going to be easier. It's going to be second nature. Just come from the heart. Like, trust yourself, believe in yourself. It's all working out for you, And then we have the owl card here, which I'm going to read for. And as of finding owl, by the way, I want to say, like, these readings that I'm doing are not meant to be, like, specifically predictive or anything. It's always guidance for the moment. Because remember, your moment is your future. It is your past, right? What moment you're in. So most important thing is just taking care of you right now. And honestly, when you believe in wonderful things and you take that from moment to moment, then wonderful is your reality, right? So that's what we're all about here. So we have owl. And the owl has been worshipped and hated throughout the world, but always it intrigues and fascinates. It is the epitome of mystery, magic, vision, and guidance. It is also one of the most ancient signs for spirit contact. The owl is the silent guide, teaching us to trust our instincts and silent impressions, especially in regards to spirit communication. Its appearance now is alerting you to much spirit activity around you. The owl is also a creature... Oh, wait, okay. Before I move on, actually, I want to say... maybe for some of you, you've been noticing like more like weird stuff happening, like you're accessing maybe more intuition, your things are like getting a little too uncanny, and that can be a little nerve-wracking, and that can also happen if you're really like, if you're starting to tap in, like, some people might say like your third eye is opening, right? You're getting those insights and intuitions and you're seeing things from a higher perspective, and you're seeing how things fit together, and it's like, it could be a little crazy, it could be a little nerve-wracking at times, because you're like, what is happening? Maybe you have been getting specific signs of like someone or something around you, whether, a living person, a passed on person, or guides of some kind, and that's what you're dealing with. And it's a little scary because you're like, this is new, but it's also kind of cool. It's like, yeah, right. Like, you could believe in it being creepy, or you can believe in it being like really cool and amazing, right? You're free, this reading is saying, to take it as a wonderful sign, right? You're free to take the signs as good signs. So continuing on, the owl is also a creature of the night, and night symbolizes the darkness within, which is really this like Eight of Swords here. I feel like the darkness within, right? Like, you're not dealing with the darkness without, you're dealing with the darkness within right now. The places where great secrets and great treasures are hidden, right? It's like, not only, like, I just got another quote. There is freedom in the dark, right? Once you shine a light on it. That's from, like, Black Sails, the TV show or something. So it's like the idea that the things that are in the dark that you're shoving down you don't want to look at, those are the things that are controlling you and keeping you trapped. Once you look at them, and you look them in the eye, and you say, I'm not ashamed of you, I see you, I own you, I take you as part of me, I accept you, and because I can accept you, and I can accept this part of myself, I can accept my full self, then you are truly free. And then you can step into a new version of you and feel lighter, right? You don't have to avoid that. Avoiding that is actively keeping you down. When you look it in the eye, at first it might feel really painful, but like if you look that in the face and you just say, I'm not afraid of you anymore, man, and you don't have that hanging over your head, whatever it is, you're free. That's it, right? And that's your treasure right there. The owl provides guidance through heightening your senses. Yeah, okay. Physically and spiritually. So yeah, maybe you're like really tapping into something here, and you're feeling more connected, which is making you realize how in the past you felt so lonely. Or some, that could be a metaphorical example of like, something that you're going through that's not exactly that, but you know what I mean. Its eyes are adapted to see the subtlest movement within the least amount of light. Yeah. So you're seeing things. You're seeing the dark has been illuminated, which again can feel scary, but oh man, you're like right there, like on the breakthrough. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. You just have to believe it. Okay. Because of this, you will see subtleties that you may not have noticed before. Its hearing is just as acute as its sight. Because of this, when Owl appears, you will hear undercurrents in the voices of others. Owl is telling you that help and guidance are available to you, but it is still up to you to act upon that guidance. So, yeah, again, it is fully like things are good, things are happening. It might feel overwhelming at first, it might even still feel overwhelming, okay? But it's gonna be good. You are at liberty to believe in the wonderful. You are at liberty to face the things you've been avoiding facing and know that you will come out on the other side and you will be fine, okay? And look, again, this isn't predictive. This is me telling you this because you believing this is the key to your success, right? And I'm right here with you. Like I said, I'm in it right now, but I'm doing my best, and you know what? That's all we can do, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I really do feel like I should wrap this up, but I'm just gonna ask a little treat. I'm gonna get some song cards because I can't resist. See if there's anything else, because I do feel like we have a pretty solid, complete message here, but I want to get some song cards. And I have to say, I was feeling a little bleh before I started this, but this pumped me up. Like, it energized me. I feel like this is something I really needed to hear, which is honestly sometimes the benefit of doing these readings for other people is I'm saying these things and I'm like, oh yeah. No, yeah. I need to hear this too. Like, so thank you for that. Letting me read for you so I can read for me. And let's get some songs just to close it out. If there's any songs you need. Oh, okay. And then any more songs? Any more songs for this group? I don't know whether to call it groups or piles, so that's too many, but let's see. One more time. Any more songs? Yeah, so many. All right. I'm going to shuffle it one more time, see if we get anything else. Any more songs for group 1? Okay, well, you know what? We'll take this. Oh man, I'm feeling a lot better, but still quite weird. All right, so the first song we have is The Show. And the lyrics say, I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. Yeah, so you're in the middle of a change right now. The middle could feel a little crazy, but it's fine. Life is a maze and love is a riddle. I don't know where to go. Can't do it alone. Okay, yeah. Can't do it alone. So, like, whatever, if this is literally with, like, other people physically or, like, spirit guides or whatever, you don't have to do it alone. In fact, maybe that's what you're stepping into is, like, a new world in which you don't feel alone, and a new world in which you feel connected to someone else, other people, the greater cosmos, whatever it is. Right? And then stepping into that change, again, might be a little scary at first. You're doing great. I don't know where to go. Can't do it alone. I've tried, and I don't know why. I'm just a little girl lost in the moment. I'm so scared, but I don't show it. I can't figure it out. It's bringing me down. I know. I've got to let it go and just enjoy the show. Yeah. So it's like all those things that have been bringing you down, all those thoughts that you know drain your energy. Once you think that thought, it's like you feel that energy just like leach from your body. You know that that's a thought. That's time to go, right? And you don't have to do it alone. There's so many ways you can get rid of old thought patterns, and the first step is to just notice them, and the noticing of them is usually like that middle phase of the change where you're like, oh, okay. And that's when you take that and you're like, oh, it's time to let that go, right? When it gets intense, it's like, okay, something's not working, and it's probably some thought patterns, some things that you know are leaving you to prepare you for the new and the better, and you're ready, okay? It wouldn't be coming up if you weren't ready. So, speaking of letting go, we have Praying by Kesha, which says, I'm proud of who I am. No more monsters. I can breathe again. And you said that I was done. Well, you were wrong, and now the best is yet to come. Yeah, so whatever's, you're releasing in the past, it could be a range of things. It could be really heavy things. It could be things that are heavy to you, but maybe haven't been acknowledged in the greater, in the greater world as heavy. But whatever it is, like, you're letting it go. You're becoming proud of who you are. You're realizing that you can face your fears. You can face yourself, who you are is not contingent on what people have said to you in the past, anything that's been done to you in the past. You are, you're stepping more into your power, and it's great. And then we also have Cerise by Ghost. I can feel the thunder that's breaking in your heart. I can see through the scars inside you. Yeah, so like, you're seeing through some of the scars that have been inside you, some things that might have been hidden. You might not have acknowledged them before, but you're seeing through it. And seeing through it means that you're ready to see through it, right? You're ready to let it go. The burden is going to be lifted. Maybe it's already lifted, and maybe it's just a matter of just accepting that and acknowledging that. But you're doing great, sweetie, and you're going to be fine. And you are fine. It's all fine. Okay. Just enjoy the show, all right? Just enjoy the show. Okay, yeah, that's all I got for you, pile one. So I hope that was helpful, because it was helpful for me. So at least we've got that. I believe in you, and whatever, you're looking to bring into your life, whatever you're looking to do, you're gonna do it, and you're gonna be okay. So, thank you for letting me read for you. If you are interested in personal tarot guidance session with me or my mom, who also makes videos on this site, or a hypnosis session, or human design reading, we've got all that offered on our site, sunflowerphilosophy.com. I will put that in the description. And otherwise, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you so wish. And I will see you in another reading. Have a wonderful day. Welcome, group number 2. If you chose these cards, then you're in the right place. And today's reading is just going to be whatever wants to come through. Literally, whatever you most need to hear. That's my intention. Oh my god, there's the cutest little baby bunny outside. Oh, it's so tiny. I'm so sorry, but also I'm not, because I wish you could see this. It's the teeniest, tiniest little thing. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. I mean, maybe bunnies are important for you. So take that as it resonates. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so tiny. And there's a mama or papa bunny right behind it. Oh, anyway. Okay, focus. Sorry. But not sorry, because it's so cute. Okay. So let's just get into your reading, honestly, because as you could tell already, the energy for this one has been quite interesting. Even in pile 1 too. And so we're just going with the flow. We're going with it. I'm just doing whatever. All right. And we're going to have a good time. So let's just see what you need to hear right now. And it could be literally anything. So let's start with the quote. So we have 2. And this one says, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn." And this is from Anne with an E, the show, based on Anne of Green Gables. And then we have this one. And the quote says, "Revenge wouldn't drive her, but questions. Yes, questions would." And this is from The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. And I also have a bird card, which I'm actually not going to read from the book sorry. There's a book for these cards. I'm not going to read from it until later. But we have the wren for you. So bunnies and wrens might be important right now. And this says, "Be bold and resourceful." Ooh, okay. Okay, so this could be about literally anything. We haven't really even gotten into it yet, but I'm getting a very academic vibe here. Not necessarily that this has to be about academics, but like, we're talking about learning, we're talking about being resourceful, we're talking about being curious, being driven by questions. So curiosity is important for you right now. Boldness is important. Oh my god, the baby bunny. It's hopping. I wish you could see this. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Maybe you keep getting distracted, and there's something here about like refocusing, but also there's like a joyful, playful energy, and also like with curiosity, it's like approaching something from a lighter place than like, yeah, okay. So it's like being bold and resourceful, but like not being driven by any like darkness, not being driven by like a motive that has like resistance attached to it. It's like being driven by curiosity, by the desire to learn, to be lighthearted, especially if you're learning like how to do something new. Being like a little baby bunny, you know, you're just learning to hop and you're doing your own thing, and you know, you wouldn't expect a baby to know how to do everything right off the bat. So you're being encouraged to yes, like research things, look into things, learn. Maybe you are actively going to school, or you're learning from someone, you're looking for a mentor, whatever it is, researching stuff online. I don't know. But it's saying like be bold and resourceful, but in a playful way, a curious way, you know? It's not that serious, you know? Let go of the need to be right or good at anything right away, and enjoy the process of learning, and get involved too. So like, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. So yeah, it's like, okay, so if there is something that maybe you've been spending a lot of time looking stuff up about, it's time to like do the thing, right? It's time to do the thing. It's time to get involved in the thing. And that can be intimidating at first because you're just getting started, right? You're like that little baby bunny. But by doing the thing, that's going to take you to the next level. It's going to get you where you want to go. And so it's time to be ready to do the thing. And it is encouraging you to do so in a way that is lighthearted rather than driven by any heaviness, by shame, by regret, by guilt. It's like, no. Like, curiosity is the thing. So if there is any heaviness attached to the thing that you want to start doing, like guilt or shame or fear, like if it's something that you put off for a long time and you feel guilty about that, or you think you're too late to the game, you think there's no such thing as that, but you think that you're too old to be doing this thing for the first time. No, you're not, okay? This is saying go into this with a beginner's mindset, with a playful curiosity. If it involves other people, ask questions. Be open about your inexperience in this field or area. Be willing to ask other people for advice or for their opinion or for their perspective or whatever it makes sense in that scenario, whatever you're looking to do. I'm still looking for the little baby bunny outside. Sorry. Yeah. And the boldness, it's like, it seems like for a lot of you, it might be about talking directly with someone or someone's about the thing and just asking direct questions, stating direct statements, being like, this is the situation, I would like to know this, you know, just going for it. So yeah, that's what we have so far. Let's clarify with some tarot cards and see what else we got for you. Yes, I like this energy. I do feel that for some of you, it could be something that you are feeling heavy about at the moment. And if that is the case, it might, take a minute for you to get on board with tapping into a more playful energy. But this is saying that you can, you will, and that would benefit you the most. There's nothing here for you to... I don't know who needs to hear this, by the way. Might not be for all of you, but there's nothing here to be ashamed of. You don't need to be ashamed of asking questions. You don't need to be ashamed of not knowing. If anyone involved in the situation who you ask questions of doesn't meet you with respect or with where you're at, that's on them. That's not on you, So if there was any judgment or anyone, any shame coming from anyone else, this is to say, ignore that. That's not, that's not true. There's no shame. in learning something new, right? Which is, I feel like, at the heart of whatever this is for you guys. So let's get some more information from the tarot. And interesting. This one came out in pile 1, so maybe for a lot of you, pile 1 is also important, and it would make sense given the nature of pile 1. So if you want to check it out, feel free. 3. And I'm just going to see if one more wants to come out. And I'm going to make sure, actually, I forget. I feel like I have so much more room and then I don't. I hate covering up all these cards, though. I'm going to move these up so you can see them. Let's get one more. Any more? Yeah, that one, like, flew out. Wow, okay. Fun. Okay. And bottom of the deck. Okay. All right. We'll put that over there. So with this deck, the booklet actually has a lot of like very just brief descriptions that I think are just very solid, short pieces of advice. So I'm going to read what the booklet says for each of these as I talk more about them in the context of this reading. So starting with the Page of Strength over here. So that in this deck is the Page of Wands. So right off the bat, a playful energy, playful beginner energy. Look at this little guy here. Cooking his food. He's adding some spice to it. He's not worried about, he's not thinking about, if he's any good at it or not. He's just in the flow, right? So this is about getting into the flow. Being excited, being curious. Where is this in the booklet? Here it is. It takes energy to do something awesome. Go for it. Engage your free spirit and follow your passion. Yeah. Exactly. So like what I just said, just be a free spirit about it. Be free. Be free. Be free. Like I'm being right now with my words. I'm saying whatever. I'm really bringing the energy. See, take my lead. This is the energy you need to bring to whatever you're doing. Okay. Yeah, it's fun. It's passionate. It's playful. It's not taking things too seriously, but it's also, I'm committed to doing a good job here, doing my best, but my best doesn't have to, look any certain kind of way. It's just like what I bring to the table in the moment. So we have the Knight of Intelligence here, which is the Knight of Swords. So like the Knight of Swords in the Rider-Waite Smith is just like charging in. He's charging in with his sword, rushing right in. He's confident. He's going for it. In this deck, let's see. What does it say? Channeling raw ambition into a constructive, thoughtful, and focused plan. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? So the Knight of Swords is very quick. And he can be very quick because he's not only got the drive and the speed and the ambition, but he's got a plan. And he's confident in his plan. And he's also confident that he can roll with the punches, too. So yeah. Maybe this is something that you can make a plan for. Maybe for some of you, it could be something where it's like a group project or something that involves another person or other people. And it might be useful to communicate with these other people about it, build a plan with them. And in whatever context, it can be vulnerable to say, hey guys, we're working on this together and I don't really know how this works or how this should go. What do you think? Because sometimes you feel like you got to know it all. But I think as we see over here with the Three of Wisdom, which is also the Three of Cups, which I haven't gotten to yet, but it's like involving other people, right? In a playful, spirited energy. And, as long as the other people can meet you where you're at, like that's the best way to go. And even if they can't, you bring that energy, right? So yeah, I mean, whether you're making plans with someone else or other people or just yourself, yeah, there's no shame in that. And that can actually speed up the process. If you feel like you've got a solid plan in place, if you feel like you can communicate directly, that'll make things go so much more smoothly and quickly. So, food for thought. And then we have the Four of Charisma, which is the Four of Pentacles. And this is a Dungeons and Dragons deck, by the way, so that's why Charisma, Intelligence, Strength, Wisdom. If you know, you know. 4 of charisma. So in the booklet it says, being careful with finances while not falling into fear or greed. Yeah, okay, so like revenge wouldn't drive her, but questions, yes, questions would. So you're being ambitious, you're going for it, right? You're charging in, but you're doing so, you're paying attention to the energy that you take to it, right? You're not pushing too far. You're not pushing out of fear. You're not pushing out of revenge. I don't know if for some of you this is part of that. You're not pushing out of something that you don't want to bring to the table. You're charging forward, focused, playful, joyful, having a good time, right? If there is fear involved or vulnerability, that doesn't have to slow you down, as long as you're aware of it, and as long as you take the steps necessary to move with it and make sure it does not stop you. This baby bunny is still out there. Oh my god. Oh, bunnies must be important. I don't know, somehow. Maybe look up what rabbits mean in spiritually or something. I mean, I can't think off the top of my head, but it's the tiniest little thing, I'm telling you. Oh my god. See, like, there's no shame in being that little bunny that has barely known life yet is so sweet and so innocent and so pure. How could you not love it, right? So if you're beginning something new, how could someone not love your sweet, innocent pureness, newness at the thing? Nothing wrong with that. Like, nothing wrong with it. Oh my god, look at it go. And it's doing great too. This thing is like hopping all over the yard. Like, it looks like it's really, see, you could be a beginner at something and you could be even better than you thought originally. You just have to go for it. Go for it. All right. Anyway, moving on to the 3 of wisdom, 3 of cups, which already, gives the vibe of like, it's like 3 people kind of celebrating, dancing together, so it's like working with other people, but in like playfully, like playing with other people, taking time to celebrate the simple joy of aliveness with your friends. Yeah. So, like, for example, if what you're doing is like creating a D&D campaign and say you're, I don't know, DMing for the first time, which is like the person who runs the game is the DM, or GM, and you are like nervous about it. Maybe you could there's people you could ask for help. You could be honest with your friends and be like, hey guys, like, I want to try this out. I'm new at it. Let's just have some fun, And it's like taking a lighthearted air to it. You don't have to, there's no stress. It's playful, explorative. It's like when you were a kid and you would just like draw with the crayons and you'd take them out and you'd do whatever and you'd explore and you'd, just have a good time with it. In the world, sometimes, like, the joy of learning, of beginning something new, of jumping into something new can get sapped out of us as we grow older because everything we do is measured by, like, grades, by money, by, like, all these different numbers that mean nothing, and yet, in a way, do mean something, you know what I mean? But it's, like, it's also all made up, right? It's not, like, a measure of your actual worth as a human being. It has as much meaning as you give to it. And so it's like, you don't have to take that into every new thing you do. You don't have to measure what you do. You don't have to put standards on yourself. Just get in there and have the experience, right? Play. Be curious. Like, curiosity is, it's huge here. I love this because once you get into this energy, there's nothing you can't do. Because it's not about the outcome. It's about the process. It's about enjoying the process. It's about enjoying the people involved. For a lot of you, I do feel like there's at least one other person involved in whatever you're doing. And it's about connecting and having that time to connect with other people and not focusing too much on the result, the end result. You're playing, right? It's playtime. Whatever this is, you're playing. Okay? Like, good. Yeah. And the last card here, the Devil. So the Devil can speak to, like, old attachments. Sometimes it could be addictions. Things that have held us back in the past. Things that maybe have tempted us to fall back into old ways of thinking, of doing things that just don't serve us anymore. In the booklet it says, how we deal with our shadow self. Yes, this card calls us to cut through lies and see how honest we can be with ourselves. Yeah, so there might be lies you're telling yourself or that you've been told about how far you can take this thing that you're starting out, or how good you can be at it, or how much you can enjoy it if as a beginner, or like you've got to do this and this in order to be good at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to be this kind of person. If you're that kind of person, you're going to fail. You know what I mean? Like, too much limiting beliefs or whatever that you've either internalized or you see other people have internalized. And it's like cutting that out, you know? Letting go of that, not letting your shadow self control you or tell you that you're not capable, because it's not about that. It's about the experience. Like, taking yourself out of the, out of the mindset that it's like, out of the mindset that there's like a way to lose in this situation. It's like, whatever you're starting out, you can't fail. There's no failure. Like, failure doesn't exist here. When you're playing, failure isn't a thing. There's not a right or wrong way to play, right? So approach the situation like that. Okay? Okay. So now that we've done all of that, I'm going to read from this Feathered Omens bird book to see what the wren has to say about being bold and resourceful, and see if we can get more information from that. Let's see. Where's the wren? The only part of this plan that backfires is that I just like didn't bookmark the page for some reason, so I have to flip through. All right, so we're looking at the wren, and it says, there are times to sit back and watch and times to take action. The wren's appearance now is a sign for you to be bold and resourceful in all of your activities. Do not be afraid to speak up and let people see and know who you are. Your ideas will be accepted and you will find support necessary to see your efforts through successfully. Yes. Oh, yes. So for some of you, it's like maybe you don't even need to do this with other people, but you still can ask for support and help. Asking for help. Nothing wrong with that. It takes one to know one in terms of having trouble doing so, but like, asking for help is not admitting you're wrong. It's actually really brave and smart. And in fact, I will say, this brings me back to a time like in high school. I remember some of the smartest students I knew around me were the ones who were not afraid to just raise their hand and ask questions all day long. And they did the best, and they were doing great on all their stuff. And like, I was, it's not that I wasn't smart. I was, and I got good grades and stuff, but like, I was super insecure all the time about myself, and like, I was afraid to ask questions because I was afraid to look stupid. And it's like, is that helpful? A helpful mentality? No, it sucked, right? And I'm so glad to have processed that throughout the years, but like, man, it's been a journey to get there. In terms of being able to ask for help, and I'm still working on that too, so I'm with you in this. It's like, if this is something that you're still learning, like, no worries, no problem, like, I got you. We're in this together. I said that's pile one too, so if you are confident in your abilities, others will be confident as well. You are prepared. You have laid the proper foundation, and now is the time to act on it. Hesitancy now will cause you to lose an opportunity that may not come back around for a while. Now, I like to think that no matter what, you never miss out. So, like, there will always be another opportunity, but it's just saying, like, might as well do it now, right? Like, do it now. Now is the time. Like, whatever's happening, it's the best opportunity. So, yeah. If there is resistance or obstacles, confront them assertively. It will demonstrate your preparedness and your confidence in your own abilities. Others will notice. Don't worry over the little things. They will be handled in time. Yes, oh my gosh. You're playing, you're curious. Things will happen that you didn't expect, that you weren't planning for. It's part of the process. That can even be a fun part of it for you if you can be light about it. No, don't panic if something seems to be going quote unquote wrong. Have the mindset that things can't go wrong. It's, again, like, get out of the idea that there's a failure that's possible here, okay? There's not. Keep your eye on the big picture. Be bold, be resourceful. It is time for you to take charge of your own life or some important part of it. It will change how others view you from this point on. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You got this. This is great energy. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling bold and resourceful. You sure? Okay, so next we're just gonna get some song cards for fun. I have to say, I feel like this is a pretty clear message, and I don't know if I have a ton more to say, because I really just jumped in and like said it all. And I am a firm believer in no matter what, like, you know, each part of a reading is just going to be as long as it needs to be, right? So they could be all different lengths, and it doesn't matter. You can get a different amount of cards for each pile. It's just whatever needs to happen, happens. So, but I still want to get you some song cards because they're fun. I did that for pile 1. I'm going to do it for you too. So let's see, any song cards that want to come out for group 1. Okay, you know what? We're going to... yeah, we're gonna go with that. So let's go with these 3. So we have Locket, I'm Still Here, and Spillways. So you can take these in any way that they resonate, especially if you know the songs and like you have associations with them. But like whatever pops in your mind too when you like look at them or hear the lyrics, which is true of any part of the reading. But let's look at the lyrics. So we have Locket, we have close your eyes and hear my secret. Deep, deep loving, hear my secret, hear my secret. So honestly, for this one, I feel like for some of you, you'll have an intuitive sense of like what this means for you. I am feeling like it also is saying, you know, if you need to get yourself centered, you know, if you are a little anxious about jumping into this new task or asking for help or being open and honest with someone about something, like close your eyes, get centered, like tap into yourself, into your inner power, you know, take a few moments to breathe. Don't push yourself to speak before you're ready, but like if you just take that second to feel, you know, ready in yourself, you will be ready to, you know, say whatever you need to say in whatever moment you need to say it. Also, you know, for those of you who feel really sensitive to the energies of others or maybe a specific person who you're actually working with in this case or something like that, you can also take a moment to breathe, close your eyes, and tap into their energy and really get connected to them, feel connected to them so you can feel more comfortable knowing that, you know, how you come across will be received by them. And, you know, if that resonates for you. So we also have I'm Still Here by John... I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's from the Treasure Planet movie, which is the animated film. It's pretty good, from like years ago. Anyway, and the lyrics say, and how can the world want me to change? Oh, I spelled change wrong. Oh well. See, look, I made a mistake there, and I'm just gonna go with it. It's fine. How can the world want me to change? They're the ones that say the same. They can't see me, but I'm still here. They can't tell me who to be, because I'm not what they see. Yeah, the world is still sleeping while I keep on dreaming for me, and their words are just whispers and lies that I never believe. Yeah, so like I was saying at one point, maybe there's a lot of rhetoric around what you're doing or what you want to do about, like, that makes you feel bad about starting out, right? And that makes you feel like you can't do it. That makes you feel like you're missing something or this isn't for you. And it's just like, they don't know anything about you, right? Like, you know you. And your perspective is the most important one. Don't listen to these perspectives that drag you down. Any perspective that feels to you like it's dragging you down, that it's telling you not to follow your heart, that it's like putting weight on you that you just don't need. Like, you don't need to be weighed down in this case. Like, this is a fun thing, right? Any pressure, pressure. If there's societal pressure on this thing for you, on like something happening in a certain timing or like being too late to something, quote unquote, or pressure to perform something like perfectly the first time or whatever, like, no. Okay? No. Whatever this is not, you don't need to put stakes on it. There's no stakes on it, all right? Like, it's just being in the moment, being bold, being yourself, and letting yourself be new, letting yourself be free. yes, asking for help. Yes, vocalizing concerns, vocalizing your need for help, vocalizing what you want out of a situation or whatever. I don't know. Things like that, you know? And letting things happen and fall into place and just be the experience that you have, right? Okay? Ooh. I think for some of you, this is something that is a little bit like, ooh, it's a little emotional. I don't know, what it is. Like maybe it's been hard for you to really internalize this. I'm getting like a little emotional now. Guys, you're gonna be great. You don't need to worry. Like, if anyone has ever made you feel like you're not gonna be good enough, or that there's a way to do something wrong, or there's only like one way to do something, don't listen to that. You don't need to listen to that. Oh my god, that's utterly ridiculous. I wish I could even come up with a specific example right now, but I'm sure I'm sure you can think of things. And then we have Spillways by Ghost. And it says, it's the cruel beast that you feed. It's your burning, yearning need to bleed through the spillways of your soul. Yeah, so it's like, maybe for some of you, this is something that you've really wanted to start for a long time. You wanted to try it for a long time. You wanted to do this for a long time. That could be where some of the pressure is coming from. And again, the idea that maybe you feel like you've been too late, but you're not. And don't feed the beast, right? Don't feed the part of you that believes the lies of like timing, of like being good enough or not good enough. You know what? Like, don't feed that beast. And there's clearly something in you that's like yearning to emerge, yearning to express, could be so many different situations, but I'm thinking of like an artist who wants to really express something, or someone who wants to express something to someone else emotionally, or like in any whatever context. It's like something needs to come out, right? Like, but the more you suppress it, the more it's going to feel like this heavy burden. Once you let it out, once you vocalize it, once you be bold and honest, once you be honest about what you want, and then take the steps necessary to get there, and be patient with it, be playful with it, be resourceful, take your time, do your research, but also like dive straight ahead at the same time. Like both things, it's a balance, right? It's a balance. Don't do something out of it. Don't rush into something. Like, I know I said like, go into it, be bold, whatever, but don't rush into something from a feeling of, I'm going to miss out. I need to do this now, or I need to do this perfectly or do this right, so I have to just go for it. It's like, no. Take a lighter tone. Make sure that when you're going for it from a place of strength, from a place of passion, from a place of curiosity and fun, a lightness of heart, like the reason that you wanted to do this ever in the first place, like the part of you that truly wants this, for like the purest part of you, like that little baby bunny, the pure part of you that just wants to have fun, to connect, to engage, to learn, to love, whatever all that means to you. I'm just like saying stuff now, it's just coming out. So like, oh yeah, you, like just go for it, but go for it from the best possible place, let yourself breathe and enjoy whatever this process is, because this is something you're going to have a lot of fun. You got to let yourself have fun, okay? You got to let yourself have fun. Fuck anyone who's like putting pressure on you, or like not letting you just be yourself and learn in your own time and do things the way that you want to do them and in your own process, and get rid of all of that and ask yourself, close your eyes and hear your own desires and hear your own way of doing things. Okay, no one else's way of doing things. Like, you can ask people what they would do. Listen to your own feeling, all right? If advice does not resonate for you, do not listen to it, okay? Do not listen to it. Oh, I'm getting worked up. Okay. Do you get that? I feel like I probably hammered that in, right? Like, yeah, there is nothing, and I don't know why I feel the need to say this too. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? There's nothing wrong with you. Like, if any of the advice, or I feel like there's like, for a lot of you, there's been things that you've heard or been told over your life about people like you, or people who do things a certain way or don't do things a certain way, that's just not true. And it's wrong, and it's annoying, and those people should shut up. With love. I say that with love because, look, coming from a place of respect for all humanity and for where everyone else is at, not everyone can tell everyone what to do, right? I don't even expect everyone to listen to me. Like, I'm coming from the best place I can, but I hope that if someone is listening to me ever and is like, no, that's not for me, that they go off and find their own way, right? Like, I'm putting this out there so you can know whether or not to accept this perspective. If this perspective feels liberating and freeing for you, if in whatever context you're hearing this feels like what you've always known, but you just need to hear someone say it, or you just need it to be reinforced, then that's how you know. You take that. And if it's not, you'll know that, and you'll move along, right? Like, and so if there's anything that you've been hearing that you just know in your heart is not for you, it's not true, and it's preventing you from being the person you want to be and doing what you want to do, get rid of all that junk. You don't need it. You don't need anyone else to tell you, okay? You don't. All right? Not even me. But if it's resonating, you'll know. And you make that choice from your own self, okay? You know what you need. You know what you need to do. Like, and you know how you want to do it. And you're going to have a great time. And it's going to be fun. Wow. Okay. I felt a lot of feelings here. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I want to get one more song card. I don't know. I was not going to do that, but I feel like I want to get one more. What else needs to come out? Anything? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So it's the song Champion by Fall Out Boy. So that in itself, like, it's a very encouraging song. Like, I'm sure they played it on ESPN a lot. At some point. And the lyrics are, if I can live through this, I can do anything. You can do anything. You can do anything. You have lived through everything that's ever happened to you in your life. Okay? Don't forget that. You can do anything. Anything. Okay? No one can tell you that you can't do anything. No one. Okay? And don't listen to that. Oh my god. Listen to this song. It's pretty hype. If you feel like it. Oh my god. Please. I really feel like some of you just need a pep talk and need to be reminded that, like, oh my god. I feel so angry, actually, on behalf of anyone here who has internalized any, like, negativity that anyone else has put on you. Even, like, people are all coming they're doing their best. Everyone's doing their best, okay? But there's some anger in here, and that can be heard and felt and expressed, because, you don't want to ignore your emotions. They're here for a reason. They tell you things. And my anger is telling me that you're frustrated with the constraints that have been put on you by other people and society and whatever. And you're ready to break free. You're ready to, like, let loose. You're ready to be yourself and, let go of other people's limiting beliefs that just simply are not yours. They're not yours, okay? If someone else has that belief and they're holding fast to it, and that's, for them, great for them. Leave it with them. You're you, okay? Wow, okay. You can do anything. If you can live through all of everything that you've experienced, you can do anything. Just remember that. Think of things that used to be impossible to you, used to seem impossible to you. I know you have them. I have them. And I forget sometimes that, like, that used to be impossible to me. And now it's not. Now it's normal, right? That's the same with any new thing that you start, okay? It will feel impossible at first, but you know it's not, because you've done it before. You've done the impossible before. You can do the impossible again, all right? Okay. And it's not impossible. Like, that's a myth. Nothing's impossible. Like, open your mind. Open your mind. You just break free. Break free. We're breaking free. It's a High School Musical. Also coming through. I was listening to that earlier, actually. I don't know why, but yeah. Oh my god. I don't know why I want to cry. Yeah. All right. We're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I got so passionate, but it felt really good. So I hope that was cathartic for you also. You're gonna do great. And if you are interested, my mom and I do offer personal one-on-one tarot guidance sessions, as well as recorded tarot sessions, hypnosis sessions, and human design readings on our site, sunflowerphilosophy.com. I'll put the link in the description. And then also, if you want, like, comment, subscribe, feel free, do whatever you want to do. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again in another reading very soon. Bye. Hello, Group 3. If you chose these cards, then you're in the right place. And sorry, I don't want to hold them like too close to the candles. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good. So if you chose these cards, you're in the right place. This reading is all about just like whatever you need to hear right now. Just kind of been letting whatever wants to come out. Very interesting energy today that I'm in. Personally feel really good about it. So hopefully this will be helpful for you guys as well. Let's just jump right into it by starting with your quote cards here. So we've got this card, and the quote says, "All people are musicians. The question is whether or not they share their songs," which is from Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. And we have this card, which is like just painted in black ink, and it says, "The great storm is coming, but the tide has turned," from The Lord of the Rings, by J.R.R. Tolkien. And then I also have a bird card here. It's the cuckoo, and it says, "New fate and path direction," which actually, when I first pulled it for you guys, came out in the reverse, and then it flipped over when I put it on the table to get started. So when it comes to the part where I read the book about the bird, I will read both sections. So I'm just assuming there's something in both for you. So let's just take a look at this. So new fate and path direction. With all people are musicians, the question is whether or not they share their songs, and the great storm is coming, but the tide has turned. Well, I mean, there's definitely something here about new beginnings, a new endeavor. Honestly, it's pretty similar, starting off at least, pretty similar message vibe to like piles 1 and 2. Like I feel like maybe like everyone here we're all dealing with similar stuff. So that might be important for you if you want to check those out too. But obviously, getting right off the bat, like new fate and path direction for you, this could be specifically about choosing a new direction in your life, or taking the first steps in a new direction or life path and committing to that. And you might still be in the process of figuring that out. I don't know. We'll get into, the more of the reading and see what comes through in terms of like what you need to hear. But there's something here about like deciding whether or not to share more of yourself, to share maybe more of what you do or create. Maybe very literally you are creating something and you're starting a new creative endeavor, and sharing your stuff is new to you. But it's like, oh, okay. I just got the thing of like, when people might not feel comfortable calling themselves an artist because even though they make art, they don't sell it or like maybe share it very much with anyone. But this is the perspective of like, you already are whatever you want to be. You already are that. It's just a matter of like whether or not you're sharing it with anyone. So like, you're already creating, you're already doing this, you're already good at this, or even if you haven't started it yet, like there's something in you that is already this. You just don't know that yet. You're just like accessing that part of you. And so take that knowledge and go forth and like share your stuff. Feel confident to open up, to be vulnerable in that way. And the great storm is coming, but the tide has turned. I don't remember the original context off the top of my head right now in terms of like when this happens in Lord of the Rings and like whether this is a good thing or a bad thing in the book or whatever. But I always take it as like a good thing in terms of like maybe there is something that like a sense of foreboding about the future, or about like a big change coming that maybe wasn't planned or expected or wasn't wanted or has been nerve-wracking. But the tide has turned in the sense that it's actually turning the tide in a more positive direction for you, right? Like there's still a big change coming, but it's more positive than you thought it was going to be. Something like that. And actually, with you guys, I feel the need to get into the tarot much sooner to clarify more about this. But I feel like for some of you, there could be an element of like mystery. That's not even really the word. Like, there's something obscured potentially about the future for you right now, especially if you are looking to start a new direction. I mean, the example of like leaving one job and starting a new endeavor, right? Whether that's another job or like you're starting your own thing or whatever you want to do. Something along those lines. Semantics, but it's like, yeah. And there's and you're not sure. Yeah, there's a feeling like maybe this is something that you haven't done yet for some of you, like actually started, and you're still contemplating it, but it's like there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of back and forth. There's like, are you doing this or not, right? With this great storm, I'm just like seeing like storm clouds or like clouds over the horizon. Like you just can't see the end. You can't see quite yet where it's going. If that makes sense for some of you. So, and it was actually like for the other groups, the energies were very different. And for this one, there's a bit more of like, not like serious anxiety, but there was some anxiety getting started with this. So I do feel like maybe some of you there's some anxiety over your situation right now. So let's get some tarot cards. Let's just dive right into that for group 3. Let's see. What more can we learn for group 3? What do they need to hear right now? Okay, yeah. That came out like flipped over. Okay. I don't feel the need to like keep this deck in reverse, but I'll let you know if any reverse messages come out. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. And then let's see what this card is. Okay. I'll move these up. I always think I have more space than I do, but I don't. Yeah, ooh, this energy is a little bit more, it's not down, but it's not as energetic as the other two. Not yet, at least. We'll see. So you might be a little tired or frustrated or anxious. Just low energy, Okay. So for this deck, I like to read the little lines in the booklet for each card because they're just simple and direct and to the point. So on this deck, first of all, we got the 7 of Pentacles. That's the 7 of Charisma, which is the 7 of Pentacles. The Lover's card, the Hanged Man, and the High Priestess. So 3 major arcana, and then the 7 of Pentacles. So, ooh, patience. Right off the bat, patience. There's something here with patience. Perhaps the frustration and anxiety I was feeling was some impatience on your behalf. And with the Lovers, well, I mean, for some of you, maybe this could be about like a romantic relationship of some kind. Frustration or anxiety over that. Over opening up to someone new, over opening up to someone in a way you haven't before, over sharing your music, over sharing the things that you love with someone that you love. Not for all of you. This could be about anything, like anything that you love or are in love with, which doesn't have to be a romantic partnership, could be anything. Doesn't have to be a person. Can be an activity, can be a passion. Maybe it could be multiple of those things. Maybe there's multiple things all happening at once in your life, right? Maybe the impending change of fate that's happening for you feels like it could be impending doom, but it's actually not. You just are feeling like you're feeling like there's some kind of inevitable pain here or something like that. And maybe something that you've been very patient for. So like now that it's approaching the time to make the change, you're dragging your feet. You're not sure. You're freaking out a little bit because like it's like new territory. let's read for the 7 of charisma before I get like too in the weeds. Okay. Da 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 da. Where is it? I'm looking through the booklet right now. Don't mind me. Oh, see, I'm needing to have some patience because I was getting impatient trying to find this, but it's right here. I just know if I keep looking, I'll find it, right? And I know you guys can wait for me. It's all good. I trust you. Okay. Yeah, 7 of charisma, aka 7 of pentacles. The power of allowing your plans to develop and unfold without urgency or restlessness. Well, yes, I was feeling some urgency and restlessness. So clearly that's what you guys are feeling right now. Also, I'm feeling really hungry. So maybe you guys are a little bit like undernourished right now. Like maybe there's something that you just need to replenish yourself. Yeah. The lovers, we have finding harmony in relating with yourself and others with while honoring your values. Yeah. Okay, so like say it was about a relationship, for example. You maybe have been patiently allowing things to unfold naturally, and you're looking to maybe some of your frustration or anxieties around like marrying your relationship or whatever it looks like with like honoring yourself and your values. So like honoring the other person and honoring yourself, creating a relationship or creating a scenario or situation in which it is mutually beneficial, right? Where you know that where no one feels like they're giving up anything for the other person or being depleted by the scenario, but rather being replenished by it. Ooh, yeah. And this could be a thing where you're maybe transitioning from a situation, again, like anything, it doesn't have to be a relationship, a situation that wasn't feeding you, right? It wasn't giving you what you needed. And you're transitioning into a situation that will. And maybe you're working on leaving behind old habits that allowed you to become depleted in whatever endeavors you were undertaking in the past. And you're looking to bring a new energy to a new situation. And so you're still coming out of that maybe old energy and moving into the new one. And you don't want to create a new scenario with the same outcome in terms of like depleting you, like something that's taking away from you. And that all starts within, right? In your habits and stuff. Like, so if, like, for example, you are actually like legitimately hungry right now, like you haven't eaten enough today, like I haven't. Hi. We're the same. I've said that in like every file so far. So I'm just living your life with you, like right now. It's great. Then it's like taking the time to create those habits that will allow you to stay energized, stay full of life and full of energy and passion for what you are undertaking in your new situation, right? Because like you can leave behind old scenarios all you want, but you take yourself with you, right? You take yourself with you, okay? And that the lovers did come out in reverse at first, and I was thinking like it could have to do with your relationship with yourself, because even if it, like for some of you there's a literal relationship here, it's like that also is impacted by your relationship with yourself, right? That's the same thing. Like how you relate to others is how you relate to yourself, and vice versa. It's like you take yourself with you, okay, to whatever scenario you're in. So what within you has been depleting you, right? You know? It's not to say that can't show up in the form of other people or external circumstances around you. Like it totally can. And like obviously changing your external circumstances has an impact on that. But it's like once you do that, don't stop there, right? Once you do that, go within and give yourself back what you feel that you've lost, and learn where there are parts of you that might still be taking from those areas that the other person, business, whatever, what it feels like they took from you, right? Like give yourself that back, replenish yourself, like love yourself, learn how to give back to yourself. so that in the next scenario you find yourself in, the next job, the next relationship, whatever, you have like that backbone, that you have that foundation of self-care, self-love, whatever, that will help this new situation be the best it can be, right? And hopefully be something, like I said, like you might be like working on sharing like a new passion or something. So like you might be turning to a completely different way of doing things, a completely different situation, a different kind of person, different whatever it is. If you have that foundation and you have that passion, like that's a magical combination. It's a magical combination. So that's what you need, right? Like make sure that you're truly passionate about whatever you're doing or whoever you're with, and also that you have established within yourself that which you need to sustain that passion and sustain your energy in the new situation. Be the best that you can be. Moving to the Hanged Man, the necessity to look at something from a different perspective. Yeah, shifting your perspective. Basically shifting your perspective on like when I say you bring yourself with you, if you're coming from a situation that has a certain kind of perspective around it, and that's the perspective that you took on and maybe are ready to let go of, like you're shifting into a new perspective on life that will help you be successful in your next endeavor in the way that you want to be the person you want to be. Share the music that you make. Share the parts of you that you weren't sharing before, that you didn't feel at liberty to share, okay? Like perspective shift. And that's like, again, like of course there's the external world, but you gotta be patient. You gotta let the external world shift. Because even once if you take a big step, if you haven't left a job yet, say, but you're still working on getting a new situation, and you're not ready to leave yet, but you know you want to, you're looking for you're getting your ducks in a row, whatever. Yeah, focus on the external and be patient with that, but also focus on the internal. Like the internal and external both are like the same thing, basically. You got it? Okay. Speaking of the internal, the High Priestess, internal, intuition, your inner self, going deep within yourself. Those are all things that the High Priestess means to me. Accessing your intuition and tuning in to the source of feminine power. Okay, so feminine power is like, it's not about gender. It's about like the energy, right? Underneath things. So it's like masculine power, for example, would be like like a go-getter, going out, taking, getting, doing, giving, protecting, whatever. Feminine power is like receiving, allowing, going with the flow, intuition. We all use these energies, all of us, within ourselves, and we can all stand to balance them within ourselves and use both at different times. And it seems like at this time you're meant to go within, to sit back a little bit, to receive, like I said, replenish. You might need to replenish yourself, right? Go in, follow your intuition, don't push things. Trust that the tide has turned in whatever storm you're facing or have been going through, okay? The tide has turned, but you got to be patient. You've got to look within and develop your relationship with yourself so you can gain that new perspective and be this High Priestess where you're not pushing anything anymore. You're going with the flow. Especially if you're like doing anything, any creative endeavor, and everything's creative. Starting a new relationship is creative. Starting a new job is creative. Selling your art is creative. Making new art is creative. Whatever, everything's creative. Starting a new creative endeavor, like, you might need to develop more of your ability to go with the flow and to tap into your intuition and to let things happen in the right time by, really giving care and attention to your inner world and inner self, before, you get back around to doing. You might be very good at doing things. You might be very good at just doing the thing, but you also need to be very good at receiving the good things that are coming to you because you're doing it. Like for example, like you might be like, oh yeah, I am going to sell my art, but you might be uncomfortable with actually receiving money for your art. And so you got to look around at what's inside you that's making you feel uncomfortable with that. Like, did someone tell you that it's not worth that much, or that you can't make money as an artist? Do you have beliefs around that? Do you need to find a new perspective around that in order to be comfortable receiving? Which means that, like, it's going to take some time for you to be comfortable asking for what your art is worth, to be comfortable with the process of, like, monetary transactions, of actually pricing your art. Is that holding you back and stopping you because you're afraid to do that part? So you're like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. Look at that. You can change that perspective. You know, you just got to take a look at, like, where it's coming from, and be patient with yourself and with your surroundings, and let yourself let go of those old things that are holding you back. And then we do have the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck, so I feel like you will be moving into a faster energy. It's like, this feels a little bit slower, like you've had to be patient. Maybe you've been waiting for a long time. Maybe this is saying slow down for now, or like you've been in this slowed down place, and that's exactly where you need to be. The Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck means, like, you're coming into the phase. Like, through this experience, you will get to the part where you actually do the thing, all right? The Knight of Intelligence, which is also the Knight of Swords in this deck, says, channeling raw ambition into a constructive, thoughtful, and focused plan. Right. So you're, like, getting the focus that you need. You're, like, creating your focus plan. Like, through this perspective shift, going within, like, getting into this energy, you can then create the focus plan that allows you to charge forward. Like, pausing for a second will make things go faster. Like, pushing will slow things down. Pausing, being in your feminine energy and letting things come to you that you can then respond to and act on in the right time, that will bring you what you need. Especially, like I said, if you're like me right now and you're like, oh man, like, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I don't really feel like I've got energy right now. I let this go too long, I need to replenish myself, right? Yeah. So, next, I want to read from the bird book so we can just get more information about what the cuckoo says. And this is the bird book here, so I'm going to find that in the book. Okay, cuckoo, new fate and path direction. The cuckoo is one of those birds that are a herald of spring. Oh, okay, so yeah, you might have been in winter, or maybe you're currently in a winter, or you're just coming out of a winter, or you need to embrace the winter of your life more. And by winter, I mean metaphorically, like the time when it seems like nothing's growing, right? You've got to be patient to reap those rewards. You've been patient, and maybe you're still being patient. The cuckoo is bringing you spring, okay? Hearing its song in the spring was a sign of good luck and a sign of new fate unfolding for you. Its appearance here reflects that same energy. A new spring is upon you. Take advantage of the new paths that are opening up for you. And actually, you know what? Before I continue, because there's more to the upright side of this, I'm going to actually read the reversed first, because, like I said, that came up first. Like, this first fell out in reverse, and I wasn't sure if I should take it. I'm just going to read that for you. Then I'll get back to the other section. So reversed, it says, when cuckoo shows up reversed, it often indicates that you are pushing for a change before you are actually ready for it. Aha! There are still loose ends to tie up, old issues to resolve, and obstacles to overcome. Once this is done properly, the new path will open to you. The cuckoo is one of the few birds that will eat the very destructive tent caterpillars. This is a sign that now is not the time to push for a new path. Rather, work on eliminating what has been eating at you. When this is done, that new path will not have to be forced. The gate will be open on its own. So, like, exactly, literally everything I just said. Swear to God, I did not read this ahead of time. So I read these after the fact on purpose so I can be validated in what I'm saying and be, like, surprised along with everyone else and be like, wow, it makes sense. Because it's a great feeling. So yeah, so that is, like, where you're at and possibly where you've been at. And maybe where you still need to be for a little while, right? It's like, don't push. You don't need to push. Let yourself rest. Let yourself breathe. Oh my goodness. But I'm also going to read the upright. And I'm going to start over with that because, you know what? I want you to really soak in what's coming for you. And just know it's inevitable. Spring is inevitable, okay? It's inevitable. You don't need to push for it. This is what you have to look forward to. But in the meantime, be where you are. sit with yourself, get your new perspective, get your ducks in order, get yourself feeling good, okay? Okay? All right. So the cuckoo is one of those birds that are heralds of spring. Hearing its song in the spring was a sign of good luck and a sign of a new fate unfolding for you. Its appearance here reflects that same energy. A new spring is upon you. Take advantage of the new paths that are opening up for you. Oftentimes, the new path and change comes first within the family environment and then branches out into other areas of your life. Embrace the change. Though it may seem difficult at times, it will ultimately be for the best. A new path is opening up for you now. It will provide opportunity to get rid of some of the pests that you have been dealing with. It will also help you to overcome some of your own negative characteristics as well. Insight will be strong into yourself and into others around you. Over the next few months, you will see more clearly what does not work for you anymore, and you will discover the steps necessary to move past those things onto a path that will allow you to grow and develop beyond what you imagined. Trust in the new fate that is unfolding for you. You have asked for this for some time. Well, that time has arrived. Yeah. So, I mean, and some of you, like, you know, you might be closer to this than others, whichever, like, you resonate with more, like, you'll know if you need to really just be patient, sit back, wait, and really focus on yourself and, like, get yourself in order first, like, if you still got stuff to do with that, and you'll know if it's time for you to start moving forward with it, right? Okay? Like, you will know when that time comes, especially if you are tuned in. So, keep fine-tuning yourself. Keep working with yourself. Giving yourself the nourishment that you need, whatever that looks like in your specific scenario, okay? And I promise you, you will get there. And I feel like I'm being a little, like, harsh, or, like, not, like, harsh, but, you know, like, a little bit, like, direct and, like, not as gentle as I might be in some circumstances. So I'm just presuming that perhaps you need that a little bit. But, like, I know this energy. I know it's necessary and it's great, but it can be difficult to sit in, especially at first, especially if you're not used to sitting in that. If you're learning how to be the person who takes a step back, takes a breath, takes care of themselves, lets things sit for a while before they really take action. And I promise you it's worth it. And look, this is coming from someone who, like, I'll let you in on a little secret. Like, I left a situation and, like, basically spent, like, a better part of, like, 3 years almost, but mostly 2 years, like, just learning how to be chill with myself and, like, figure stuff out before I started to really move forward, take new opportunities, and things started to really fall into place. And, like, getting myself internally right, like, helped me feel confident about the decisions I started to make moving forward, and, like, it eased me into a new path, into a new direction, and it feels great now, and it's still unfolding for me, right? Like, so it wasn't easy at first to sit in this energy. It wasn't easy at first to embrace this part of me. It doesn't have to take you 2 years. It doesn't have to, this could be just like a week by week thing. It could be a month by month thing. It could be a year by year thing for some of you. Like, you know, the point is you don't have to know, right? The timing isn't important. It might feel important. It might seem important. Where there's stress, where there's resistance, where there's tension, that's where you need to go in and look at yourself. Also, it's just, like, started to get real dark outside. It's just the sun going behind the clouds, but hopefully the lighting's still fine for you guys. Yeah, but, like, oh yeah, so, like, the sun will go behind the clouds, right? And then it will come out from behind the clouds, right? So things that are unclear right now, you can look within and you find the answers there, and once you clear things up within you, right? But the sun will come out again. Yeah, so you might feel it, yeah, like, there's a storm, there's things have been obscured, you're not seeing clearly, you don't understand, you don't know, you want to know so that you can do, and it's like, you're not supposed to know. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. I'm just getting the, this is me from Camp Rock. Like, this is real, this is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. So, oh wow, you got a little treat because I just sang poorly for you guys. So, you're welcome. Yeah, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And the light will shine on you again. Like, you will get your clarity, you will get your new beginning, you will find what is within you that will let you you'll find what is within you that has been stopping you from like sharing your music, quote unquote, from like the quote at the beginning. And you will overcome that, and you will be ready, for your next chapter. Like, nothing to fear. So, I'm just going to get some song cards, because that's fun, because I did that for the other groups, to see if there's anything else that we want to talk about. Let's see. All right, anything else for group 3? Anything else that they need to hear right now? Oh, wow, okay, kind of a lot. Let's go with that. Oh, that's too much. All right, I'll put these off to the side. I'll take these. I think I'm gonna get one more though. Let's see if one more wants to come out. That's too many. Anything else for group 3? Interesting ones that you got already. That's too many. See, I feel like, yeah, okay. So we have Euclid by Sleep Token, and we have, I play along with the life signs anyway, but hope to God you don't know this feeling. Yet in reverse you are all my symmetry, a parallel I would lay my life on. So if your wings won't find you heaven, I will bring it down like an ancient bygone. And, excuse me. And in this case, I'm really focusing on I play along with the life signs anyway, but hope to God you don't know this feeling. Because to me, that line is all about, like, not feeling okay in yourself where you are right now. Feeling a little dead inside. And for some of you, that might be more extreme than others, right? We all feel a little dead inside sometimes. Euclid, to me, is a very emotional song. I definitely found, like, I find music very helpful in helping me tap into my emotions, and you might need to release some emotions right now, especially like I said, if you're like transitioning from one phase of life to another, leaving a relationship, leaving a job, leaving something, grieving something, that was depleting you, right? And again, like, that was depleting you externally, but then also internally, that means like you've been depleting yourself, right? Like, you leave that thing and then you still have to look at yourself on the inside and get that right. Because in this song, it's like, run it back, give me 5 whole minutes. I'm thick tar on the inside burning. Like this feeling of like, you're like burning up, you're burning out. Maybe you're experiencing like burnout, in some way. And it's like about leaving the old you behind, leaving the old you, both the external, leaving the person, the business, the thing, the whatever behind, and also leaving who you were behind to become something new, which can be one heck of a process, right? And for everyone, like some of you, this is a more extreme situation, and for some of you, this just might be like a difficult week, right? Whatever it is, you are going to see the sun again. Right? You're going to see the sun again. It's going to come out. You're going to be okay. You are, I promise. But you need to give yourself rest. You need to rest. And we also have War Pigs by, sorry, I'm looking around because I thought I saw something moving outside and I got real creeped out. Sorry, we have War Pigs by Black Sabbath. And I don't even know what made me put this song in here, but time will tell on their power minds, making war just for fun, treating people like pawns in chess, wait till their judgment day comes. So yeah, this could be like about what you've left behind. Like maybe you've left behind an environment or a person or people or whatever situation that was unfair, that, you felt like you were treated poorly, treated like a pawn, used, whatever. And it's, and the line here, like, I'm getting the strong sense of, like, leave it behind. Like, you don't need to dwell on, like, you might do some dwelling on it as part of your process, but, like, don't stay there, right? Don't stay consumed by regret, guilt, fear, or by, like, resentment, anger, frustration about things that happened in the past. Like, feel your feelings, like let the anger out, right? Like, let the things out, like the feelings need to come out. There's feelings that need to come out here. The things that you're getting in touch with are your emotions. And you need to be okay feeling them. So, like, I'm not saying don't be angry about things. I'm saying feel the anger, acknowledge it for what it is, and let it out. And I'm not saying, like, go yell at someone. Like, you know, if someone, like, comes at you, like, you can stick up for yourself. But it's, like, more like, especially if you're not in the situation anymore and you're not around the people, let it go. Let it go. Not by shoving your emotions down, not by saying you shouldn't be mad about this anymore, but by letting the emotions out as they come, writing, journaling, doing yoga, going for a walk, smashing some plates in a safe, controlled environment where no one's going to get hurt. Like, I don't know, they have, like, things where you can go smash things. Crying, doing the thing. And trusting that, look, if you feel like someone's done you wrong or any situation has done you wrong, I don't even like to say, like, they're going to get what's coming to them, but, like, it'll come around. Like, something that's unstable, something that can't stay the way it is, like, it will not stay the way it is. You don't have to do anything about it. You're not there anymore. What you're doing about it is not being there anymore to feed that, right? You are leaving that behind. You are becoming someone new. You are taking on a new journey and endeavor. You don't need to think about that anymore, you know? And if you do, that's fine. But, like, get good with yourself, you know? Like, don't let those people, that situation, whatever, drag you down, because it will if you don't feel your emotions and move on. You can move on. You can enter into a new situation. You can become a new person. You can have a different tomorrow, but you got to do the work in between. You take yourself with you, right? So put that focus that you might be putting on other people or that past situation and turn it back on yourself, because you're important right now. You are important. You are the only one that you have control over. Okay? You. And you can do this. Yeah, you can do this. People might have been unfair to you, society, right? Like, we can get all kinds of hung up on society outside of us. And it's not like we're ignoring that. Like, it's not about being like, oh, I should just, like, never look outside and, like, get mad or whatever. And it's like, no. Feel your feelings. There's things that are unfair. It could even just be about, like, current events, like getting really caught up in those. It's like, of course feel angry about the terrible things that you see happening. Feel angry about things that make you angry, that bring up emotion in you. It's not like you shouldn't, right? It's like, don't do that at the expense of yourself, because because for some of you, if like you're angry on the behalf of other people, right? Maybe other people who have been through similar situations as you, but it doesn't have to be that. But whatever it is, like, if you're angry on the behalf, like, if you want to help, you want to do this, you want to do that, but you're feeling depleted, you're feeling exhausted, you're not feeling like you have that much to give, but you also don't feel like maybe you don't feel worthy of giving right now either, because you're really down about it. And you also feel like, how can I move on to a better life? How can I be happy if other people are suffering still, or if other people are being unfairly treated, or if other people are doing the unfair treatment? Like, how can I rightly make my way to a better life, make my way to a better state, better situation? How can I be happy? And it's like, listen, I get it. We've all been there, okay? But there's another quote coming to mind. Oh my god. Okay, what is it? It is, something difficult for you isn't less difficult because other people have different problems, right? So if you feel like, oh my god, everyone else, like, there's so many people out there who have it so much worse than me, are going through all this stuff, I can't take the time to look at my problems and look at myself and my situation because, you know, it's just not as bad as other people. Why do I feel this way? I shouldn't feel this way. You do feel that way. So it's not should or shouldn't. There is no should or shouldn't. It's how you feel, okay? It is what it is, right? I feel like I'm being so harsh right now. Like, I'm getting a little bit, like, heated, but, like, it's not, I want to push you to take yourself seriously and your situation seriously, right? I want you to look at yourself and say, I'm allowed to feel my feelings no matter what my situation is. I have the feelings that I have, all right? I have the experiences that I have. Stop using other people's situations to invalidate yourself, whoever I'm talking to. Okay, all right? Like, no. That's a way of pushing away your own self. Like, stop abandoning yourself for other people who may or may not even know you exist. And it's not that they're not worthy. It's not that if there's someone out there suffering, you can't reach out and help them. But you got to do so from a place where you have built up enough reserves to give, right? Don't drown with other people. Lift yourself up so you can lift people up with you, right? And you know, take this or leave this, but if that's what you want, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I would say that's the better option. You can probably do more good from a place of feeling. No, you can. I believe that you can do more good from an empowered place than you can from a disempowered place. So get yourself empowered first. I don't care what your situation is. Stop comparing it to other people's. Like, there's so much rhetoric out there about like what's real trauma, what's not, what's this, what's that. It's like, no, your experience is your experience, and how you're responding to it is how you're responding to it. It's fine. Let other people get themselves out of their stuff. If it's people who are like in your life that you feel like you can help, but you feel like you're letting down by taking time to be with yourself, like they don't need you as much as you need you right now. Okay? They really don't. And if it's like bigger world events and people who you don't even know, but you're still feeling, emotional about it. Like, again, all of this you can have your feelings about. There's nothing wrong with that. And take the action. When you're ready, take the action to make that change, right? But you will have so much more momentum when you have built yourself up first. And here's the thing too, if there are people who are not living a life that you would want for them, look at your own life. Are you living a life you'd want for yourself? And even if on the surface you feel like, well, I should appreciate it, it looks fine, it should be fine, does it feel fine? Because if it doesn't feel fine, it's not fine. And that's fine. Sorry, that was a little bit... It's okay to not feel fine, right? With where you're at. It's okay. No amount of thinking that you should feel a different way will make you feel a different way. You gotta feel your emotions, and they will pass, and the sun will come out, and you will feel better, and you will feel at peace, and you will still be able to make a difference. You will still be able to make a difference. You will be able to make even more of a difference. It'll be incredible. I want to get to Wish You Were Here before, like, I forget about it. We also have Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. And it says, how I wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl year after year, running over the same old ground. What have we found? The same old fears. Wish you were here. Yeah, so like there might be people who are stuck in the same pattern that you were, stuck in the same place that you were. You might have left people behind, a person behind. You might still miss them. You might wish you could go back and help them. You might wish you could bring them with you, but you are not bringing yourself with you. You got to bring yourself with you first, right? Look, if you want other people to have a better life and to be better and to feel better and to be happier, how can you help them do that if you can't do that for yourself? Do that for yourself, okay? Do that for yourself. Do that for yourself. The change that you will make and that you will see in your life when you give back to yourself what you're trying to give to everyone else will be incredible. It will. I promise you that. I promise you that. And it take these words at face value. If you don't feel this way yet, take it at face value and like just go with it, and eventually you will feel better, you will feel capable, you will feel ready, and you will see miracles happen, and you will believe in life again, and it will be amazing. I promise. And things will look better. Like, it's that perspective shift is going to come from inside you, not from things happening outside of you to make it change. Like, that will happen, and that can happen, and that can be part of the journey, but like, it's like inside you is where it starts, okay? How you respond to the outside world is dictated by how you respond to the inside world, like how your inside world is, right? there's like so many ways I want to say it. Like, yeah. Okay. I want to take one more song card because there's one on the bottom that's sticking out to me. It's Home by Cavetown. It's often I am upset that I cannot fall in love, but I guess this avoids the stress of falling out of it. And the tone of that song, I'm really thinking about how it is like about depression, about feeling down where you're at in the situation you're at and the surroundings that you're at, not feeling like you're maybe worthy or able to communicate in the way that you want to do the things that you want to do, to be there like you want to be. But it's also about finding hope from that situation and feeling that with time, that hope will grow and you will, things will only get better, right? Things will only get better, and eventually you'll feel at home in wherever you're at now, right? And this is coming in a little late, but for some of you, you might be feeling like you're stuck in the situation that you're in and you can't feel okay while you're still here. Like you need to find something else to make you feel better, and you can feel better now. Don't look for that feeling outside of yourself. And again, it's not saying don't change your external situation. If you can do that, but it's saying that that is not the only thing that will get you there. And if there's something that feels like if you feel like you're stuck in like between a rock and a hard place, like start with taking care of yourself, little things every single day, whatever it needs to be. And yeah, and this is getting like a little heavy. It could be a little dramatic, and for some of you it might not need to be, but for some of you it might be. And I need you to know that like it's just one step at a time. It's one step at a time. I've been there. I spent some time there, you know, and honestly, like, I don't regret it. I don't. But at the time, I knew what I had to do, and I knew I had to be patient, and it was hard, but I had to learn that, and, like, I just had to persist for a little while, and it got easier and easier, and things got better and better, and then I was better. I became better than I ever was before, to be honest. Like, in every sense, I feel better about who I am as a person, about what I'm doing, about what I want to do. It was a process. So, for some of you, you're just having a bad day, and you'll be fine tomorrow. For some of you, it's maybe a bad year or a bad several years, and you're coming out of it, and you're ready for spring. Spring is around the corner, but that corner, you don't know yet exactly how long it's going to take to get there. You don't need to know. You need to be with you right now. So, whew, wow, guys. Wow. I hope that helps someone out there, because I know what that's like, and it's not fun, but you will survive. Especially to those of you who feel like it's really dark. The sun is just behind the clouds. The great storm is coming, but the tide has turned in your favor. And you are going to get to be your most authentic self and share yourself with people who will listen. And I don't know who needed to hear that, but that just came out. So, like, take that. But yeah, we're going to cut it off there. You're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. But take some time. Okay. So thank you so much for listening to that. I hope that this was helpful. If you would like, and you're interested, my mom and I do offer personal one-on-one tarot guidance sessions, as well as recorded tarot sessions. We have hypnosis, human design is available as well if you're interested in any of those. And if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Oh yeah, I'll leave the link to sunflowerphilosophy.com, which is where you can look into all those things in the description. And you can also like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to. And I hope that you are feeling better soon. And I hope that you're doing okay and have as good of a day as you can possibly make it, but no pressure. Just be you. And I will see you in another reading sometime very soon. Bye.